Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there, wherever you are. Thank God it's Friday. A beautiful Friday morning to you all. And hey, guys, it is going to be a very, very difficult weekend for us. Starting from today, a lot is happening, a lot is taking place right now. Looking at Chelsea's game ahead of time, a lot has been talked about. A lot of pundits are writing Chelsea off, going to the home of Nottingham Forest. Many pundits believe that Chelsea cannot come out from Nottingham Forest successful. Many. I have not come across one single pundit yet who has spoken boldly and declared Chelsea that, Chelsea go into the game on Sunday against Nottingham Forest, that Chelsea is going to come out victorious. Except we, the Chelsea fans, and even we, the fans, some of us, I've seen one or two Chelsea fans, even on social media, who think that it's not going to be easy or it's not going to be possible. Yeah. We know it's not going to be easy, but as we speak, part of me is telling me that we can get a job done. We can get a job done. And hey, guys, you see, I don't blame those pundits who think that Chelsea cannot get through to the top 5 or Chelsea cannot beat Nottingham Forest at home. I don't blame them. Their reasons are valid. Yes. You see, emotions aside, right? I don't blame them. I don't blame those pundits who think Chelsea cannot make it into the top 5 or into Champions League next season. I don't blame them. Our away record has been terrible in this year, 2025. Our away record has been very terrible in this year, 2025. Go back and check. Anytime we are on the road, the last one was Newcastle. Chelsea's away record in this year, 2025, has been terrible. We had a big away game last week against Newcastle, and we crumbled under pressure and went down to 10 men at the end of the day. Courtesy my own boy, Nicolas Jackson. We haven't given enough to back us up going away to Nottingham Forest. However, ladies and gentlemen, I see this game as an important game, not just for this season, but for next season as well. If we go there and come out with a win, it will impact the mentality of these young lads. Positively, heading into our next season. Or even heading into the Club World Cup before next season. It's going to be a mental, physical, and tactical battle on Sunday. Mental, physical, and tactical battle on Sunday. And Chelsea need to show that we are ready for pressure games. We need to show that we are ready for pressure games. And shut up the so-called doubters. Because even after qualifying for the Champions League, next season we are going to be facing tougher games in the Champions League. Away games, we'll be traveling to some dangerous grounds in terms of football stadiums around Europe. Yeah. So Sunday's game, many have written Chelsea off. But if we can get a job done, it will be to our own good. And hey, this is what I will expect. If we are to go into Sunday's game and get a good result, I will go briefly into some transfer news before leaving. Don't worry. A lot is happening. If we want to get a good result on Sunday, in my mind, looking at the caliber of players we have, it is possible the job can be done, even very easy. But hey, look at this. Lavia will be massively important for us on Sunday. And so will Reece James. Both two players, Lavia and Reece James, they will be massively important for us on Sunday. Now, I am just wondering how Maresca is going to get all these guys into the starting 11. How can he get all these guys into the starting level? Because we need them all for the last battle. Thank God they are all fit. The great news is that they are all fit. But the problem is, how can Maresca get all these guys on board for the last battle? That is a challenge here. I am in my mind looking on the pitch, imagining the pitch, the field, and my formation, my system in my head right now. I would say it's very simple. Yet I still have a but somewhere. It is very simple in my mind, but I still have a but somewhere. Now listen. Start with James as right back. He looks very sharp and ready for this last games. Start a midfield trio of Enzo Fernandez, Maresca Caicedo, and Lavia. Right? Reece James right back. The midfield trio of Maresca Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez. Now, start Cole Palmer as right wing forward. Pedro Neto as our false 9. Noni Madueke as our left winger. What about that? It sounds good, right? Yes, it sounds good. On paper, it looks beautiful. These are quality players. But hey, when we do that, we will lack creativity in the middle of the park. When we do that, we will lack creativity in the middle of the park. We don't play the system that I just mentioned right now. If Maresca had to go by that tactics, we will be using losing creativity. We'll be losing creativity in the middle of the park. That means that we are only going direct. We are going direct, no creativity. And it is going to be difficult for Maresca to use both Reece James and Lavia. Otherwise, we will lack creativity. Our midfield will be solid. Our defense will be solid because Caicedo will just sit back at that DM position. But the truth is, and then Lavia will be doing all the dirty work, all the break-up plays, and distributing the ball. But is that all there is to it? That number 10 rule, I think that we will still need Cole Palmer in that number 10 role. And that is where the challenge will be. Fernandez cannot play the same role of Cole Palmer. Unless we want to make use of, will I suggest it? I hope you don't come after me. Christopher Nkunku. Yes. Instead of Enzo. That means that the midfield trio that I brought up will still not work out. So guys, it is what it is. Let me tell you what. The game is going to be two halves. If we want to, since all of them are fit, it can only be two halves. In the sense that first half, we are likely to see Lavia starting. Second half, Reece James will take over. Or first half, Reece James start. Second half, Lavia takes over. That is the only way we can have a balanced squad. This is my personal opinion. It is Friday morning, and thank God it's Friday. What do you think? Let me hear from you in the comment section. Quickly, before I let you guys go. Bayer Leverkusen made progress in talks with Erik ten Hag to become their next new head coach. Yes, Bayer Leverkusen, they are losing their coach, Alonso, to Real Madrid. They've already lost their head coach, Alonso. Yes, Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid. So they are going for Erik ten Hag, the former Manchester United and Ajax, or former Ajax and Manchester United head coach, now heading to Germany to become Bayer Leverkusen's new head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Ten Hag has given his total availability after direct contact taking place earlier this week. Yes, Ten Hag has given his consent for the document to be prepared after earlier contacts were made earlier this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Arsenal and Liverpool willing to match Chelsea's asking price for Christopher Nkunku. Bayern Munich yet to launch a move after enquiries in January. Personal terms yet to be discussed by Premier League duo. Yeah, personal terms are yet to be discussed by both Arsenal and Liverpool that are interested in Christopher Nkunku. Bayern have no issue with personal terms because they have already discussed that with the player last January. All right, German side have already have that in place, so they don't have any issue with that. So it is what it is. Right now, as we speak, it is very, very likely. It is very, very likely Christopher Nkunku will be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. Now, what else? Let me point out Manchester United, yes, are in crisis, serious crisis. I wanted to have time to deal with this. You see, the way that Manchester United crumbled all of a sudden is not surprising. It's not. From the moment this new owner took over as a part owner with this company, Inos, the way Inos took over the club and they began to do things, you realize that no, things are going to be falling apart. And remember, United issues did not start from now. It started way back 8-9 years ago, or even 10, yeah, 8-9 years seasons ago. From that was when things started. And when this guy took over, he did not take his time to study the market, the trend, what is happening. For instance, they went in and bought this man, Dan Ashwood. Dan Ashwood was a director, sporting director with which club was? Is it Newcastle or so? And they paid you is either Newcastle or United or Man City. United paid huge amount of money to snatch him away. 4 or 5 months down the lane, they sacked him. And this is the guy that they brought in to help to transform the sporting, aspect of the game. The way Inos pushed him out, they pushed Ashwood out. For me, come to think of it, doesn't make sense. Why was he pushed out? With a simple reason. You see, he raised a valid concern about the appointment of Amorim. Yeah, mainly that they don't have the budget to support Amorim's system of football. Robert, that was all he said. They didn't have the budget to support Amorim's system of football. He opted for the former England coach or Graham Potter, these two. Then they spun it as if he just wanted the England, that was Southgate. They thought he just wanted Southgate, and it was a total PR game against Ashwood at that time. Otherwise, Southgate would have been the coach right now with Manchester United, and there would have been much more stability with the club, within the club. Even players would have respected him because he was most of the English players are, they know him as their national team coach. Ashwood was one of the few people that personally I would have trusted to rebuild United under this new ownership with the limited resources that they have. But they spun it out. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I will not take much time. It is your breakfast. It is your breakfast. And so let me just end by saying that Andrew Santos, has returned to Chelsea after a superb year-long loan with Strasbourg. Andrew Santos is back to Chelsea. Kendrick Paez is also back to his home country. I saw the video when the family was welcoming him to Ecuador. Kendrick Paez is also back to his home country. But Santos is going to be part of the Club World Cup, and therefore he's back at Chelsea as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end it here. I'll be back with more exclusives in a later time. In the afternoon. See you guys in the next one where you see me. Shalom and peace.